Almighty back in the building, yo. Shout out to everybody that supports the show, you know what I'm saying, all that. We got You'll Never Know on the show tonight. Godsense Beats, you know what I mean. Shout out to the sponsors, you know what I mean. Elite Sound International. Check out the fresh new shirt that they sent me. Peace to Rap Almighty. Guy Grams, you know what I mean. Big Bob. Shout out to the Snow Goons, you know what I mean. Blaze 'em Up Radio. Vinyl Frontier, Smiley the Ghetto Child. Snow Goons, you know what I mean. The usual suspects. Peace and blessings to everybody that be tuning in, man. I appreciate y'all to the fullest, man. Word. I hope everybody having a good week and whatnot. Yo, peace. Betrayals, peace. Word. We're gonna have a dope show tonight. Just waiting for the homies to tap in this shit. Get this shit rolling. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Peace. Yo, I'm sending you the invite right now or whatnot. Yo.
Yo, what up? Peace, man.
What's good? What's good?
Man, what's good with you, man?
Chilling, bro. Chilling, man. You know what I mean? Good to finally meet you and whatnot.
Man,
you know what I mean?
Likewise, bro. Likewise, man.
We're trying to get Godsense in here right quick.
Yeah.
How's your week going though, bro?
Man, I can't complain, man. I really can't complain. Just trying to, stay busy. Still promoting the record, maintaining my 9 to 5, regular stuff. But yeah, man, I'm really happy about how the album is being received, yo. But I've been chilling. What about your week, yo?
Yeah, same, man. You know what I mean? Doing the 9 to 5 shit. You know what I'm saying? Keeping my head on straight, staying out of trouble and shit. You know what I mean? Word.
Yeah.
I was definitely enjoying the project though, man. I've been bumping it throughout the week and shit. You know what I'm saying? Cause I was definitely enjoying it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got a lot of heat, man. I'm just trying to get Godsense. There we go. Peace.
Peace.
Godsense, what's up, yo?
What up, Never?
What up, man?
All right. So I guess let's set this off, man. I figure we start off with, you know what I mean, y'all tell everyone who y'all is, you know what I mean, where you representing, so they can get a little bit of feedback on who you are and whatnot.
Word. You go ahead.
Man, you'll never know. Yeah, I've been rhyming. I'm 36, yo. I've been rhyming for 20 plus years, yo. Started off battling, I was doing the whole grind time situation, BET 106 in Park. I got my start from really listening to Big L and really paying attention and studying the Big Picture album. And then I got into listening to the Little Brother and Elzai, and just from being influenced from them dudes, I just started perfecting my craft as far as penmanship goes. And then while I was, maintaining that, I went to school in Kansas State for about 2 years, started honing my craft there. And then I ended up moving back to Baltimore. And the funny story about linking with this good dude, Godsense Beats, I was still heavy on the music circuit when I was in California. So before I moved to Baltimore, this is during the MySpace days. And, I did my research and, just seeing what was popping out back at home in Baltimore, because I was that hungry. And, he was part of a group called Unison Collective, and they was holding open mics every Monday. And, I reached out to him via MySpace, never met them dude in person. And, once I moved to Baltimore and started, hitting the circuit heavy, he had a lot of pull out there, man. Ever since then, it's been history.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody. I'm Godsense Beat in this particular setting, also known as Tislam the Great, Baltimore's own. I guess you could say I'm somewhat of a vet or to some people, a legend in Baltimore. I'm not tooting my own horn. I've been doing music here in Baltimore since 2000s when I got back from college. Before that, I was kind of, involved and knew people that was on the scene. But, beyond that, it was just constantly growing my craft, putting out solo music. And then when it came to the birth of my daughter, that's when I switched things up and started doing production. She's 14 years old now, so for those 14 years, I did it for a while, just like not seriously. Just was doing it because that's what I had the time to do. And then it was like after that, it just became more and more serious when I got with the group NASA 8. Shout out to my NASA 8 homies here in Baltimore. And I linked up with them. My brother Tech Loon, who's out in Cali now doing his thing. He really showed me, like, in depth how to really, work, in production and actually making beats and mixing and things of that nature. So met with You'll Never Know throughout my career, and we've been on shows together, worked with each other. And he's not just a brother in music. That's my brother at arms, like, 100%, hold it down for him on all platforms, So, but after that, we should have been done this on the lyrical tip, should have been done this on the beat tip, but it finally lined up where it worked out. I brought the heat, he brought the heat, and we served up the community with a nice plate of food.
No doubt. No doubt. Yeah, well, good to meet y'all brothers once again, man. Again, I did notice y'all from Baltimore, so I definitely got to give a shout out to the fam out there. Jamil Honesty, you know what I mean? Dirk
My
Platoon, my
family.
fam.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I went
Yeah,
to
y'all
school with
really,
Jamil. We went to high school together.
that's what's up. That's ill,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, they all yo, Baltimore is doing their thing, man. Like y'all all out there fucking really getting it and shit. I'm from New York, so it's like, you know what I mean? I'm
Mm.
not used to hearing anything outside of New York, but as I sat there and really like listened to what's been going on lately, yo, Baltimore is really shit. Man, y'all got some crazy ass MCs, you know what I mean? J Royale, the homie J Royale, of course, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yo, mad fucking fire out there, got grams, man. I could go all motherfucking day, but yeah, y'all really got the shit going out there, man. But yeah, that shit ill. That's
And
why I
what's
was
funny, you
glad.
say that, it's like, and even though, like, you being from New York and all that, and even other states or whatever, like Baltimore for a long time has been cooking. We just never really was able to pop or for people to really get exposed or hear, because like a lot of the people that you're popping, we've been doing it for 10, 15 years, down here in Baltimore. And it's like just now as grown men, I mean, they try to say it's a young man's sport, but a lot of us are like from 35 to like early 40s that were doing it since we was like 1922
Right.
in Baltimore. And we just now is breaking through the ceiling like, yo, look, it's some heat down here. Like, show some love and support.
Word, exactly, yo. That's what I'm saying. Hip hop's a beautiful thing, man. It's a fucking universal language. You know what I mean? You could be from anywhere,
Anyway.
just and get that opportunity. You know what I mean? So that's why I play my part with like trying to give niggas a platform and shit. Try to make shit proper for people. Because I know a lot of people got like the trap music shit, this and that. But like me specifically, I work with the boom bap artists. Like I know a lot of people don't like me because of it. I don't get a lot of love, but don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I don't give a flying fuck because I'm saying like I'm the golden era. I'm from the golden era. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's what we're focusing on. And I do gotta say, man, I didn't know what to expect because man, I say this a lot. A lot of people inbox me they shit, and you really never know what to expect. To be honest with you, you know what I'm saying? And when I should say, you'll never know inbox me his shit. I was like, yo, this shit ill. Like I was like, this shit is fucking ill. Like I was really glad I love hearing dope ass hip hop I never heard before. And that shit really hit me. The ghost of Reggie Lewis really kind of hit me a certain way. I was like, yo, this shit is ill. Like I was really feeling it. So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that into a second. Yo, Tara, what's good, fam? You know what I mean? But like, I wanted to ask y'all some questions right quick before we hop into that.
Yeah.
So I was gonna ask y'all. So as individuals, I want to interview y'all kind of separately, but at the same time as a collective. So
Okay.
let's start with you. You'll never know. So who did you grew up listening to that made you want to be a hip hop artist?
Man, I you know, I started listening to like Cannabis and like I said earlier, Big L. You know, my father, you know, he was in the military, and I remember him coming from doing a tour in Bosnia, and he had like a big duffel bag full of mixtapes, and you know, me being nosy and itch, man, like I stumbled on it was a Tony Touch mixtape. I forget what volume it was, yo, but it had the Beast from the East with Redman, Cannabis, A Plus, and
Yo, Mr. Sheiks. Yup.
yeah, crazy, yo. So like after hearing that record, yo, and I just kept remembering Cannabis's verse, yo. And after that, I was like, yo, I want to be a part of this. And then from there on, you know, I started listening to him a lot and, you know, trying, you know, get into the battle scene. Then I was listening to Big L. And then after I listened to the Big Picture, as I got older, you know what I'm saying, going to, you know, school, meeting different people in walks of life, yo, I started getting into Little Brother and then, like Fonte. And I really and the people that I met at this journey I'm at, yo, like it was always focused on like patterns of how to, you know, write and penmanship. So, you know, after that, I heard about Elzai, and ever since then, like those have been my major influences. And that's why I can honestly say though, those have been my influences to where I'm at to this day, yo.
No doubt. So I got the same question for you, Godsense. So who did you grow up listening to that made you want to do this shit?
Well, from the rapper aspect, real quick, it's always been KRS-One. That's been my go-to, my number one from the jump. But to some people probably who know me, but weirdly, Q-Tip's my favorite. Always has been. I'm a Tribe fan till the day I die. It's just something. Anybody who knows that Minnie Rippleton sample, that alone, with that high pitched note and how he just looped that, and it's just him as a producer and also as an MC has just been one of my favorite. But I mean, you can name him from the Coogee raps to the Busta Rhymes to the. I mean, that's the cult I come from. You know what I'm saying? Coming up, you know what I'm saying? Wu-Tang Clan, Mobb Deep, you know, all that. But production, there's only two. Love all of them, from your Premiers to your No IDs to your Alchemists, even down to Mr. Polka Dot himself. You know what I'm saying? But number one is Madlib at all times. Right there, hair second, and people will probably be like, "What? How could he be number two? He's on your wall. He's all you praise. He all you talk about." Dilla.
Word.
But it's just for me, and I'll explain it once. Madlib can do any and everything on the planet, production-wise. Any sound, any style, his dedication and sacrifice to the art form of production, his minimalistic use of tools and equipment in order to produce a quality large sound is unmatchable.
Word.
I
mean, you can, you know what I'm saying, being a fan too, you could already tell, like, I mean, your production, it kind of makes sense now listening to your production, because, you know what I'm saying, like, that's a perfect segue right there, because I listened to Ghost of Reggie Lewis, right? I listened to the No Blood, No Foul. But then I was like, you know what, though? Let me listen to Godsense shit. You know what I mean? So I listened to your production album, the Oyster Shells.
Okay.
And I was intrigued because I'm a producer. So, you know what I mean? I naturally want to listen to other music too and listen to what people's like, how they handle themselves with their beats. And I was out. It was dope. I actually listened to all the instrumentals all the way through. Like, so,
Appreciate
you know what I mean?
that. Also,
Now,
Guy Grams is on there, along with Ill Conscious, and as well as the J Royale as well. He's on there as well.
that's
So
crazy.
yeah, the actual album with the rhymes on it, and a whole bunch of local Baltimore artists on there. A couple other cats like Problems, he's on there from New York. But yeah, that album was my baby. Like all the production things I've ever done and ever accomplished, because that album took me years to make. It wasn't just like, okay, I came up with this idea one night and boom. It was like I handpicked art MCs locally, sent them batches of beats. When they got them done, I was there for about 98% of every single song that was recorded, from the MC to the engineering, everything. And all the way down to the music videos that came behind it, the artwork, all sourced and funded by me, nobody else. And to this day, everyone who's heard that album has given me my props on as far as the sound quality and the cohesiveness of that project, you know, as a whole. And yeah, that's definitely my baby. So I'm glad you took time out to do that, because most, you know, well, a qualified and a superior interviewer would do what you did. But unfortunately, sometimes you have a couple of people out here who don't take their time and their efforts to backtrack. So salute to you on that one.
It's because you know what I mean. I gotta put myself in the category as a journalist. So at the end of the day, you have to research, you have to do the math. You know what I mean. You have to really be invested in this shit. Because even though I have fun as fuck doing this shit, you know what I mean. I love meeting new people. I love discussing hip hop in general. But at the same time, I gotta keep you on your toes too. So it's like, you know what I mean. So with that being said, let me jump into this question for you. What was your favorite joint off the Oyster Shells, if you do have one?
It had to be the one with my man Beto. Matter of fact, hold on, so I don't make a mistake. I'll tell you right now the actual name of it. That album came out a little while back, but I can pull it up quick here as possible. But my man Beto, he killed it. And the reason why is it contains a sample at the end of it that was taken from an anime that I like. It was a comical shot, but it definitely was one that I enjoyed, and that would have to be Telepathic Waves. That's what it was. I don't know why they come to me. Telepathic Waves. Because me knowing Nick from National 8, that's my homie all the way, and hearing all the rhymes that he did before, I thought he came his best ever on that track. And I to this day tell him, like, yo, this is the one. This is the one you really, not just because it was my beat, you know what I mean, but he really showed his ass on that track. He showed his ass.
No doubt, no doubt. If I had to take my choice, I would have to say Free Throw. I don't know why, but the jazziness, the chops, like the chop, it had like a premiere kind of feel to it. Like it was real, like, you know what I mean? I know it was kind of close to the top of the listing and all that, but it kind of just, I love jazzy chops, man. And a lot of your project though was jazz though. It was jazzy, like, you know what I mean? But there's something about that beat. Just I started freestyling to it. I ain't gonna front. I was freestyling to that shit.
That's funny. That's the one that he rapped on on the album. And it's got a video and everything for it. So that's...
See? That's how you know that beat is motherfucking jumping. Well, you know what I'm saying?
But he has a good ear. I'm gonna give you that. When it comes to beat selection and sonically, you'll never got an ear, kid. Like, I can see him executive producing somebody else's album beat-wise, like telling them the yays and the nays as far as track selection. He got a good ear.
Word. Now it's funny you mentioned something, because I was actually gonna bring that up too. I was trying to condense the interviews, because I could talk about anime all fucking day. Elder Sensei will tell you that. I will talk about that shit for a whole day. But let's get a little into that real quick, because I was getting a perfect segue. So because you guys do have a lot of references, a lot of Easter eggs, if you want to call it that, to a lot of your shit. Like, you know what I mean? Especially Never Know, because I you know what I mean, the no blood, no foul. You know what I mean? There was a lot of ill quotes in there and a lot of shit in there that like kind of was like, oh shit, he definitely gotta be an anime head. But if y'all had your choice of picking your favorite anime of all time, which anime would you pick? got mine, so I'm straight. But I want to see what y'all got.
Man, I always tell people this, man. I'm into anime, but I'm not as deep as my brother Godsense is. But yeah, I dabble with it. But to me, man, yo, that Akira, yo.
Mm-hmm. Word.
That,
See,
That's the big three. The big three right there. Big
yeah,
four, whatever.
yeah.
and the reason why I say that is because like I remember like working on Dust and Grind with my brother Elijah Marsalis out in Virginia, and we was recording an album and we had Akira playing on mute, and with the music playing, it was just so dope. But just to realize that the graphics was so dope back then. You know what I'm saying? And like
Mm.
what that's why I'm
Mm-hmm.
like that's like #1. Straight up.
Word.
I want to say peace to everybody in the chat real quick. In case
Yeah.
you didn't know, the brother
Word.
Cool Kim just pulled up in the spot. If you don't know who Cool Kim is, yeah, you might want to do your hip hop history.
Okay, okay.
Anyway, shout out to
Yo,
my man.
peace to everybody. Word.
Word.
But for me, I would say Akira as well. I'm not going to lie, because I'm a little bit deeper in the anime, probably a lot deeper than he is. But I have friends of mine that are like manga every day, and those are the kind of people that I spar with when it comes as far as like anime and being put on the different animes. So Akira is a dope one. Fist of the North Star definitely holds high in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a tie between those two for me. It would have to be. I mean, there's some other personal ones like of course Ninja Scroll. We can go through a lot more of the old school ones, you know what I'm saying, and some newer ones as well. But yeah, Kira just was like a whole nother.
Yeah, yo.
Yeah, it was a
There's
beast.
just the storyline behind it and the deepness and behind the three. It's just it's a lot deeper than a lot of people think. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? The science behind that particular movie. So yeah,
Yo, anime raised me. You know what I mean? Alongside my mom's, anime legit raised me. There's so many hidden messages and shit. And I will tell you this right now. If I had to pick three, of course, Fist of the North Star is the first because it was like the first in its whatever you want to call it. Like it was like the first to drop type shit. You had
and
that,
it
and
was the
then
first one to be sampled ever by hip hop through J. Woody Damager on his first album. If you listen to it on there, the intro from off of Fist of the North Star, he uses that on his project. Shout out to NASA 8, who did go to the cosplays and to the different anime conventions, and we actually bring the connection between anime and hip hop and those who have sampled it and used it throughout time. So, yeah, Fist of the North Star. Number
well,
one. I can
and of
see
course,
that. I can see that.
I gotta throw out Vampire Hunter D. You know what I'm
Just
saying? Because, like I said, there's a top four. It was always the Ninja Scroll, Vampire Hunter D, Fist of the North Star, Akira. Those were like
here.
the
Yep.
first of its class, if you want to say that, before the Dragon Ball Z generation took over. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I definitely, those are definitely the top. I had to ask that because, like I said, you guys got a lot of references to a lot of like the kung fu stuff, Mortal Kombat. Yeah, I noticed a lot of the punchlines and a lot of the quotes. So I had to ask if you guys had a favorite in that situation. Afro Samurai 2, XO, yeah,
Yeah.
work. And like
Oh, what
the
up,
fact that
X?
RZA did
XO.
that, the fact that RZA did that whole soundtrack, and the fact that he had a creative input on the anime, it
Crazy.
just changed anime completely. Like, you know
Shadow
what I mean?
Stone. Okay.
So
Yeah, yeah.
So facts. There's so yeah, because like I said, man, I could say when me and El the Sensei was interviewing, man, we went like a whole 3 hours just talking about enemy. So let me not get too far into that shit because yeah, like
Right.
anime had a huge part in my life. But and I love the samples. Like I honestly feel like Japanese samples are some of the best samples of all time. Like I mean that's just my as a producer, that's just my take on it. I mean that, and you got the Russian samples too. Like, but like the Japanese
Mhm.
anime shit got so many gems in them, like
Oh
the
yeah,
Bibles and
it's
all that.
slept on highly. It's definitely slept on highly because there's been many a times where I'll be watching an anime and I'll have to write down the point in time that it was there so that when I get done watching it, I can go back to it and turn the sampler on and store that puppy up for later to cook.
Yeah.
Yo, facts. So, but yeah, so not take away from what we discussing with y'all overall. I just wanted to kind of touch base into that real quick because I love discussing anime for those that appreciate the culture. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I mean? Back then in the days, you was considered a nerd. If you was watching anime, you was a nerd. You wasn't part of the cool people crowd, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But now look at that shit now, though. Everybody got, you need to see the hardest, toughest nigga rocking a fucking anime shirt. So, you know what I mean? I'm putting that out there real quick. Word.
Everybody want to be down there.
Facts, yo. So and they're bringing the live adaptations now for all the old school classics. So it's like I appreciate the fuck out of it. But anyways, but to get back into what we were discussing though, like your album and shit. So goes to Reggie Lewis, man. Y'all got a lot of bangers on there, man. And I'm not gonna front. The titles was kind of interesting. It was very interesting because it's like. You got Raekwon's Table. Well, I'm sitting here like reading the track listing at first. I'm like, yo, like Raekwon's Table. Like, I was like, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, Raekwon's on this shit. You know what I mean? That's the first thing that came to mind. That was the first thing that came to mind. So I sat there and I was listening. I was like, oh, okay, this shit is ill. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got so many dope tracks on there. I'm not going to really discuss the whole track listing. I'd rather people go and check your Spotify and really get in touch with it because we could talk about it all day. But what I wanted to discuss about it is do you guys have any favorites off of that album that kind of really like jumped out at you a little more than the others? Like,
yo, it's funny that you mentioned that because me and God, we had a discussion about this like a few weeks ago, and it changes. Like it changes. Like some days, like I was listening to the album earlier today, and Raekwon's Table is like my favorite right now. You know what I mean? Like, but a few weeks ago, it was Funk, and then you know maybe a few days later, I like the single, you know, the Ghost of Reggie Lewis. So it just changes, man, and I say this humbly and respectfully, and like I think this is no boast. This is just me, you know, knowing that I'm ill, knowing that I'm nice. But this project, yo, Tiz really pushed me to push my pen as best as possible. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, I feel like, and I'm confident enough to say that, yo, I got busy on this project. I'm happy how it turned out, and yeah, man, it's just one of them joints where. Like, and Give Me the Loot is my joint too. Like that record's like oh man, we had a crazy budget. Oh my goodness, yo. That video is crazy.
It's the same thing. Like I like the whole in the beginning I did have a favorite, but the more I listen to it, it's like because every now and then, because I'll play my Spotify favorite, a random one off the album will pop up. And I'm like, damn, that's just okay, that was really dope. And then another one will pop up, I'm like, oh, that one was fire too, though. Damn. You know, not that I forgot, but it's like, you know, as a producer who, you know, constantly making beats, playing beats, listening to samples and sounds all the time, you know, a project such as this, production-wise, can get forgotten or lost, not just because of how many, but, you know, it's just so much going on. But when I would go back and things start to get revisited, it's like, oh, I remember when I made that joint. Or I remember when he picked it. Or like certain memories will come back about the song, you know, and the recording process that we went through. So, but Nautica is definitely
yeah, that's your joke.
That's my shit. That guitar, baby. Yeah. But yeah.
I mean, I gotta agree with the main title of the shit, Ghost of Reggie Lewis, because like it was kind of what's that word, man? Fuck, like atmospheric. I guess that's the word. I don't fucking want to, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to sound all stupid and shit, but like that's kind of like what I felt like to me with the choir in it, and it kind of like the choir voice, so you want to call it that, and it was one hell of a way to set it off. You know what I mean? Like it definitely really caught me right off the bat. Give Me the Loot was fucking catchy as fuck. I'll tell you that right now. Cause like just the fact that you had the big, obviously you had the Biggie in there, but like it was just it was very catchy. It was very fluid. It was consistent. It wasn't like it slowed down and then it went back up. It was very like in your face style to me. So I was definitely feeling that shit.
Not the Chase Ultra, man. They got busy on that joint.
Yeah, the tail end Chase, Exo crushed it as well. But the way Chase wrapped it up on the end of that one was, yeah, it was magnificent.
Yeah, like and the fucking I also gotta say funk too, man. Like yeah, it was like I said, I love the jazz shit, but like yeah, it sounded like a blend of jazz and soul in one beat, and the flavor that you brought with the lyricism kind of like just really just made it fucking bang for me. You know what I mean? Like, it really kind of hit.
What's funny about that track is that was the name of the track. Like in the computer, like he didn't change the name. He didn't put no. I mean, that's a little secret for y'all out there who care about things of that nature. That's the same name that the track was when I created it. And who knows when I made that beat? So like, yeah.
Word. But yo, in general though, like the fucking the album cover, like the track listing, you sit there and read it, like motherfucking nostalgia just slapping you in the face and shit. Cause you know what I mean? Like, I mean, you got a fucking title, FUBU. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like who if you don't know what FUBU is, it's like you don't know golden era hip hop. Like I'm just saying, cause like you got the Echo FUBUs, you know what I mean? The Pelly, all the old shit. You know what I mean? Like you don't see as much anymore. Sean John shits, all that. You know what I mean? The Wu Wear. So when I seen that title, I was like, oh shit! I was like, this is like. I was like, all right, cool. I'm cool with that shit. You know what I mean? Give me a little travel down memory lane and shit. So I was definitely okay with that, man. But moves on a low, man. It kind of that also would have to be part of it because first off, you set it off in a way that I needed because you fucking brought the Last Dragon quote in this shit. Like the fucking the intro kind of just anything with the Last Dragon, it gotta hit for me. If it don't hit, I gotta turn it off. I'm just keeping it a buck because it's the Last Dragon. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you set that shit off. Like that shit fucking. I'm like, yo, these man just sample the Last Dragon. I'm like, yeah, this shit gonna have to bang. It gonna have to bang, yo. There's no way it couldn't.
When he wrote the hook, you know what I'm saying, with the Leroy Glow, it was like, ding, we gotta sample the freaking movie, cause like gotta go in there. You know what I'm saying? If you play it all the way to the end, you get the head dude get his knuckles broke when he yeah, man.
Yeah, that shit. Yeah, like I said, man. But an honorable mention, like I said, also the album before that with the No Blood, No Foul. Like I said, like the '90s Clue tape. I like your titles too, man. And it's like y'all really sticking to the authenticity of the golden era. Right. Because it's not like y'all just faking the funk with the shit, like just throwing out titles and just rapping some bullshit. You're actually sticking to what it is. And you know what I mean? I'm a '90s head, so listening to something called Clue tape, I'm expecting some hard shit. Because you know what I mean, I'm from New York, so if you don't, you know what I mean, DJ Clue was the motherfucking hip hop, and there was Funk Master Flex, DJ Clue, Tony Touch, like these were the fucking, you know what I mean. Yep. So I just had to mention that real quick because of that, because I like to travel. I like to start from the new and then travel back and then see where everything kind of pieces together from the past to the present. So that's kind of how I operate. Like you know what I mean. So I traveled back, but that's why I said I went back to the fucking beat shit that you dropped too, because I had to listen. I had to really get in depth with what I'm listening to. And definitely good chemistry. I mean, like I said, because you guys don't sound out of whack with shit. Like now, you were saying you sent him beats. Now, when you did this album, did you send him the beats and he just rapped on it, or was it more so he gave you a direction of what he wanted for the beats?
Man, yo, we were in this, like the process was, yo, let me just put this out.
The process was he pulled up. We got high. I played the joint.
Let me put this out there. I gotta put it out there. Like you see most of the time when I work with producers, you know what I'm saying, they'll send me beats via email. But this guy, Godsense Beats, he's the only producer I've worked with that has to be hands-on. That's dope. Like hands-on with everything. Like we're gonna do this project. That's why it sounds, not to toot our own horns, that's why the project sounds like the way it is. Because you could tell when somebody sent a cat some just beats via email, and you could tell they wasn't in the lab together. Like this whole project from start to finish, we was in the lab together where we had sessions where we just listened to beats, picking beats out. You know what I'm saying? I go home, write to them. Then we're in the studio together, knocking the joints out. What needs to be changed, arrangements, all that. We was all hands-on, and we was right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Word. That's why I figured I'd ask that, man, because like I like how y'all operate this shit. Like I said, shout out to Rap Almighty, man, because like him and fucking Big Bob at least sound international, the way they work together too, man. Like I love the chemistry, man. Baltimore, man. Like I said, man, y'all really y'all really take it over, man. It's actually it kind of makes me feel like New York need to step it up, man. Cause like, you know what I mean? We all out for the same cause, but yo, New York need to step the fuck up, man. Cause like we need to really get back into the streets like y'all, man. Cause J. Royale is dropping hit after hit after hit after fucking hit. It's hard to keep up with y'all because y'all dropping so much shit too. So I kind of want to see that from New York, man. Like we need to stick more together and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate what y'all do for hip hop, especially in that aspect, with the whole like keeping the real authentic golden era flavor. Yeah, y'all could have converted to the trap. Y'all could have, you know what I'm saying? Y'all could have went any which way and shit just to get it popping, but instead y'all stuck with what you know and it works. So why the fuck not?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I think we pretty much touched everything, man. Every subject I wanted to add. However, I do have a question for Never Know, man. I was gonna ask. I don't know if Godsense raps. I'm just being. I don't know if you do, but I wanted to ask y'all if you was down to drop a freestyle, man.
You know what? You know what? Check it. These cats is polo in the streets, some sticks get the waving. Police frisk in the basement. What I spit is amazing. Y'all think I ain't nice? You must be smoking pencil shavings. Roll up long sleeves, throwing darts in this verse. I make the song bleed. Self-alley-oop off the glass, judge it with tens. I pawn read, moving screens. I breeze past, updated scheme seen last. Debris scattered along the coast, detonate beam blast. I rob your dreams wearing the ski mask. I got it covered like N95. Better yet, side you go remove your engine, push you through some potholes, defending arrival, limited vinyl, also spelling, worst propelling, go back to the bars like a felon, violated parole, can't deny my pen, you have French fry friends, my glide from the free throw line was taken with the fisheye lens, ain't got a clue, don't question my knuckle game or professional, beat the first ball, my wordplay too damn ahead of you, make sure the scrolls is handwritten, legible, remove the whack through page skies, my robs is dangerous like a new jack stage dive. I scored 50 on the first, the next dunk was decent. Cypher dinner also weekend. Listen, I'll bar your whole legion. You know what I'm saying? Something like, you know what I
mean? There you go. It's what I'm talking about. That shit's fire. I like that. I like that. Yeah, you got something Godsense, man. You got the fire ass beats. You got some balls, bro.
I mean, you know, that's where I started out at. So I mean, I can, you know, drop something off of the mental real quick. The bars be like fire when you steps into death. I'm the type of cat to get rhyme without using my breath or possibly putting my hands directly your chest, putting my hands together, saying amen, but you bless. Anyway, when it comes to rhymes, is known as fluid. If you want to battle me in your life, you must have said screw it. Possibly would have been better jumping off of a bridge. I'm the type you're not to play with. I'm not one of your kids. You can catch yourself somewhere being reborn from one of your ribs. Doesn't matter who you are, where the fuck you live. If I gotta come through with me and my clan, you better bring you and your mans. Y'all can turn the grains of sand, get pinched like salt, dusted on top of my treasures. That's how it is. Infinite touches of pleasure. If you want to, you can get wrapped up in the pleather. Doesn't matter because you get bounced off the racket like tether. Balls being crossed the wall, crossed over. If you want to be ill, you can't be an imposer. Or you'll find you somewhere being bulldozed. I don't care. Anytime I stop it, it's foreclosure. There's no need to proceed or do it with a sequel. I don't know any human or man that's out there that's equal. Every time I spit, the tip of my tongue is lethal. If it has to come to it, I'm your mom's and I'll beat you, leaving you with welts in your skin. Hills the size of those who want to propose can get glove to thin. Putting on the glove with one touch to the grill and watch how I move faster than that of a thrill, or maybe a chill. I'm a poison tip that kills. You're the type on the corner that do nothing but hustling pills. I be on stage telling them I got the skill, trying to transform dumb niggas when I build. That's how it is, for real, the G-O-D. If you don't know me, you must be under your sleeve, hiding like a trickster when he pulling his card. If you address me, the ass is gone.
Yo, that shit was so dope, the fucking camera started breaking down. I'm like, what's this nigga saying? The fucking camera starts freezing. I'm like, yeah, that's when you know you shutting it down for the night.
Appreciate it.
Word. Word. But yo, that shit was fire, man. I appreciate both of y'all for what y'all do, man. That shit, that was dope, man. I'm glad I stayed up till 11 o'clock for this shit.
I appreciate you doing that, man.
Word, man. But yeah, once again, man, make sure everybody checks out the Ghost of Reggie Lewis, you know what I mean? Make sure they follow, you know what I'm saying, Godsense. You'll never know. Y'all got anything else y'all want to mention before we dip out?
Cop the album. That's it. That's what we pushing right now. Go watch the video on YouTube. Type in the Ghost of Reggie Lewis. Stay tuned for a second video coming as well. NFTs possibly as well. We putting in work.
Yeah, we got merch. We got the tape cassettes, Celtic Green tape cassettes, and we got these shirts, the champion t-shirt, and we got a few sizes. So you know what I mean. Headed to the band camp and cop up, man. Appreciate y'all support. Word up.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, definitely appreciate your time, man. Definitely appreciate the interview. You know what I'm saying? Y'all doing y'all thing, man. I'm definitely digging it. Like I said, I can't wait to hear the new shit coming out that y'all gonna be working on and shit. Like, yeah, y'all doing y'all thing, man. But yo, we definitely gonna keep talking though, man. Like I said, the train don't stop here and shit. We gonna keep politicking either way. But when y'all next release, we can talk about it again. You know what I mean? Get in depth and whatnot. And but meanwhile, man, yo, glad to meet y'all. And yo, I'm gonna hit y'all up in a few minutes.
All right, man.
Word. Peace.
So yo, y'all be safe.
You too.
Peace. Yeah, that was the homies Godsense. You'll never know, man. Make sure to follow them. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tag them up in the video so y'all can add them to follow them. Make sure to check out the YouTube. Check out the Ghost of Reggie Lewis. You know what I'm saying? I've been checking it all week. Shit's fire. Make sure you do that. Check out the Merc. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the Baltimore rappers, man. Y'all doing y'all thing, man. Mad love from New York, straight up. You know what I mean? I hope y'all all have a great weekend. Shout out to my sponsors, of course, the Snow Goons, Creative Juices Music, Elite Sound International, the homie Smiley, the Ghetto Child, Vinyl Frontier, Blazing Up Radio. Y'all already know what it is. Subscribe to the YouTube. I'm going to be dropping this shit on Sunday. But yo, y'all keep doing y'all thing.